The current podcast is sponsored by New Life Barber Lounge. New Life is not another barbershop. This is a place where you will find great energy and a friend in the New Life crew. This is a place all about the experience. They will take care of you and have you looking spectacular. Don't waste your time at any other place. Go right now and follow them on Instagram at New Life Barbers and get yourself looking spectacular.
Welcome to the current podcast. Thank you for joining us. This is Sports Wave. I'm your producer, Byron, alongside Mauricio. We have our host, Enzo, in the building. What's good? We got Manny in the building.
Hey, how's it going?
Mauricio sounds like it was good.
What's good?
Episode 81 was good, man.
81.
81.
Uh-huh.
So Kobe did that in one night, and we've done that in a lapse of 2 years for Sports Wave. Sports Wave.
How's that even the same?
I'm just saying, I just wanted to compare it because 81, to me, it's a significant number when I hear 81, so I just had to throw out Kobe right there. Shout out to Kobe, R.I.P. We got to start off, though, with the Dodgers.
How are the Dodgers doing?
Dodgers are still number one.
I know they won.
West.
They won yesterday.
They swept the series.
They swept the series
against the Diamondbacks.
The Diamondbacks against the Phillies, I want to say. They've been doing pretty good, and then they just added some depth with.
And I think they got
player.
a game today, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so, but they've added some depth to their lineup. Some depth. That was that guy. Have you seen him, Byron, at all? It's Kevin Pillar.
Yeah, an outfielder. I think
with the
he
Mets.
Yeah.
Played with a couple different teams. But I like it because we're just adding depth to the outfield. It doesn't put stress on other players. He's not like this amazing player. I just he's a good rotation player. Yeah, good rotation player to have in there and to give other people rest. And it just puts in that I was about to say that gaping hole. Pause. It's just pasting that up.
Filling the gap.
Filling up the gaping hole. Yes, it's filling that in. So the Dodgers are doing really good. And again, I have to go check them out. I haven't done that yet. I haven't booked my tickets yet. Byron, when do you think we should do that, man? Like, your birthday's coming, man. We should just do it for everybody's birthday. Shit. What's good? I mean, might just surprise you guys.
But do they play?
We'll
Would it have to be like a week before or something?
Something like that.
Or maybe even before then.
They played today against the Pirates.
Correct.
So we're playing later today. 7 o'clock, 7 to 10. Their usual first pitch. They get
currently 33-14.
33-14. Yep.
That's their record. That's a pretty good record.
Yes.
Out of the entire league, it's a very good record. I believe the Yankees have a
33-15.
Yeah, exactly. They have a good one too.
Yeah, and if we're talking about the AL West as well, I mean the American League, we're gonna go to the Angels to see how they're doing. They're 27-22. And I think that if they just stay consistent, they can be in the. I'd love to see an Angels Dodgers playoffs. I mean finals. That'd be the World Series.
Isn't there some sort of negotiation issues going on right now with
the Angels?
Yeah, that stadium or something like that.
Yeah, they didn't get sold.
The deal, it's an ongoing issue with them.
There's a bribery issue going on with the mayor of Anaheim, and they're not selling the team no more, or the stadium no more. I think it's not getting renamed.
Interesting. Oh, like it was the naming rights thing? Interesting. It says Art Moreno says he won't fight Anaheim's cancellation of Angel Stadium sale. So they were about to collapse that stadium. Wow.
Yeah, they were supposed to move it into a new stadium.
That's incredible right there.
But bribery, the Angels organization bribed them, the mayor.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Well,
but they have lightning in a bottle right now, so I wouldn't put it out.
It came out, so it had to be. So he had to step down as the mayor of Anaheim.
They ratted him out.
Somebody did.
And they were
who's the
he
mayor of
took
Anaheim?
millions.
I don't know, some guy.
He was committing embezzlement.
Let me see if it's
Damn.
Or let me see who the Anaheim.
Like, who was the mayor at the time when mayor that was bribed by that.
Enzo's not wrong here. New York Times, Anaheim mayor resigns as FBI.
Never said he was wrong.
Investigates. I just wanted to confirm it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I just want to clear my words.
Check it out right
I
there.
never said he was wrong.
I mean, I'm on a podcast with my brother.
Mayor
Last week, told me to do
Harry-
my research. Now he's telling me that I'm wrong.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying you're right.
So just take my word for it, motherfucker.
But we didn't know his name. So his name is Harry Sidhu.
Oh, the FBI investigated him. Damn.
And he resigns in a confidential information with the hope of receiving $1 million in campaign aid. His bribery, as Enzo was saying. all over his body. Crazy. So if you're an Angel fan,
Damn.
show me the money. Show me the money.
That was one way to keep the stadium.
We also had some combat sports going over the weekend. We had some boxing going on in the city of Brooklyn, right, Enzo?
Yes, sir.
Barclays Center.
Barclays Center.
It's it's a little quiet out there, just like it is here at Crypto.com Arena. But yeah, we did have Davis, Gervonta Tank Davis versus is it Roland or Rolando?
Rolly Romero.
Rolly Romero. He fought. They fought together they fought against each other. Better said, at Barclays Center this weekend.
He's that guy with that infamous.
My cock is bigger than you.
He said that during a press conference.
Yeah, last year in December.
Oh wow.
He's the worst. He's probably the worst shit talker in all sports.
I mean, if you got to say that, then yes, you are.
Something like that.
That sounds like some like.
Es un baboso. And what's worse is that he was fighting Gervonta, and he was looking like he was winning a couple rounds here and there.
Mm.
But I saw Gervonta Davis was just setting him up. Was really just
He was
trying
just
to
waiting for that moment.
trying to get that timing down, and then caught him in the sixth.
What round did he get? Sixth round. Cause I saw the. I didn't watch the fight, but I did see the clip, where he actually knocks him out against the ropes, and
you were invited. I don't know why.
And well, I've been like this, and
that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Anywho,
it's
but
not.
Look, check this out.
But the interesting thing, when they were saying that if the ropes weren't there, like he would have fell out.
Yeah.
But that
And
doesn't.
we've been
that's how
seeing that
bad
a lot
he
recently.
fell.
We've been seeing a lot of people fall out of the ropes.
It's common, bro. It's just. But anywho, there was actual a distraction in that fight. Supposedly there was either a fight had got broken out in the
Like
in
among the
venue?
people.
yeah
the crowd?
Okay.
during the fight. So you're in the second round, right? And you can see the crowd like standing up and like something's going on, and it's almost like it was crazy because you could see the fighters getting distracted.
Oh, so they can't even focus on their fighting because they're seeing that something is happening within the
Right.
crowd.
But they were like still doing it, but it was like you can tell that they were like
Yeah, they
looking
weren't
over
fully there.
And then after it came out that supposedly there's like an active shooter at the Barclays, so it's a lot.
Bruh.
It's like
What?
crazy. Yes, bro.
And then what is Jim Gray say afterwards during the interview?
So then he wins the fight. And he's talking about his punch power being ammunition that he has. He's
Oh, when
loaded
he's
up,
comparing it to
gunning.
guns.
And
Yeah.
Jim Gray's like, oh, we're living in a sensitive time. I think that was a little too extra, Jim Gray. Like, bro, I know it just happened, but it's at the same time, we're in a boxing match. Know your environment. Like, we're talking about boxing. We're not
Yeah, I
talking
mean,
about,
I know Joe.
Muscles have been
It's
compared
Jim.
to guns for a
I'm
very
saying
long
Joe
time.
because it's like a Sleepy Joe tendency to forget where you're at.
But Jim definitely is like, he should be out of there. That wasn't cool. He spoiled his moment. Like,
He
but-
compared it to a Glock, or what did he
yeah,
compare
he
it
was
to?
basically comparing his fist to guns, and that he had rounds. And
At least he didn't. And to me, it's like the whole
He's
thing
not
right
the
now.
first fighter to ever
The
do
whole
that.
thing right
A lot
now
of people
is,
do that.
is like against ARs, right? And my thing is like he's talking about a handgun, you know,
Right.
like calm down. Like he didn't say I got a little Uzi in my or something, you know what I mean? No, he just said I think he should have said I got more like a nuke because that uppercut is like a fucking nuclear bomb when it lands. I mean, you know, but this one was more of a hook, would you say, right? I mean, it was a hook.
Yeah, it was
got
a
him.
left hook.
It was a hook. It was like a
So
left
his
hook.
sniper is what got him.
Yeah, in this case, but you can.
Because I remember, I always think about the way that that one guy broke it down when we were talking about like boxing, and he talks about like your leading hand is like, you know, your quick assault weapon. You know, it's just like shooting bullets really quick, while this one's like the loading. You know, it's like
Right.
your sniper. Where
Yeah, it
it's
takes
like
more to load.
Yeah, it takes more to load.
I feel
Yeah,
that.
but it's like the analogy is just a way to like break it down.
But then this
you know,
week,
elaborate on it.
we got Devin Haney fighting Campos in Australia.
And then he said
In
that
New Zealand, I
he wanted to
think.
fight Devin Haney. If he
So
won
we'll see
that.
who fights now. But I mean, everybody was at the fight. Everybody in his division was at the tank fight except Devin Haney and Campos because they have
They
a
have
fight.
yeah.
But-
Errol Spence is part of that division.
No.
Was there a lot of talk about Ryan Garcia with
And
Tank
Ryan
again?
Garcia put a $20,000 bet and lost $20,000
Against Errol Spence.
because he put $20,000 on Romero and he lost. So,
He really wants that fight.
but he is not ready, bro.
Not ready?
It's just
How many?
he might win a few rounds, but then when he gets caught, he can go to sleep. He already got caught once a couple fights ago and went down.
But he came back in that fight.
Yeah, but still,
how much time do you think he needs?
that just shows you how immature and reckless he is. And I used to root for Ryan, but
I still root for Ryan. How
I
much
feel
time
like
do you think he needs?
honestly, the better fight to make if it's not Devin Haney is Teofimo Lopez
And who?
and Tank Davis. But we'll see what happens.
What do you put Lomachenko in that book?
Lomachenko, he's a good boxer, and
He's back in the winning column too.
yeah, but
He got his tune-up fight. That
He's
he
in
needed.
Ukraine, bro. He's not gonna do nothing.
True. That's a good. That's
another
thing
guy
to point out.
that's another guy that was supposed to be in the building, but he wasn't there because he's in Ukraine.
Shout out to Lomachenko.
Illuminati.
And then I saw that also. What's his name? Anthony Joshua got a new trainer for his next fight against Usyk. It's like this Mexican
I did not
trainer.
see that scene. It was crazy.
Yeah, so he's going away
to get
from.
Eddie Reynoso or what?
No, it's some other dude. I'll look it up right now. But yeah, I just saw that today actually. Anthony Joshua, Robert Garcia as trainer for heavyweight title boxing.
I don't know who that is.
Let's see who that is. Robert Garcia. He is former 130-pound champion. He coaches out of Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. Let me see. There's not much more on him. See, Garcia has 14 boxers to world titles. Among those, Marcos Maidana, Abner Mares, Jose Ramirez, Brandon Rios, Brian Valora. So those are the guys that he's worked with. So that's gonna be Anthony Joshua. What do you think about that, Enzo, and the heavyweight division now that Tyson Fury's like gone and whatnot?
Is he gone? I think he'll come back.
Well, you think, but against these fighters
who's
like
coming back for
Joshua,
out of retirement out of?
I'm just saying, let's put him out of the picture right now. What do you see with Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Ruiz, Usyk, all these other heavyweights that we have out there in boxing right now?
I think the heavyweight's still it's competitive, but it's not like electrifying.
Tyson Fury had that effect, right?
That was only, and then Deontay Wilder, but he lost it, and then Joshua Anthony lost it too because he lost. So I don't know, bro.
It's interesting.
Ain't nobody. It's more like Durante Tank is the money division. Earl Spence and Bud Crawford is the division. That's the division you want to watch. But the heavyweight right now, they're all kind of even. Ain't nobody really like
Dominant.
Yeah,
They've all lost to each other
it's
technically,
also,
right?
that, and then it's also like the heavyweight. You know, the next fight to make a heavyweight should be Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder.
Yep. Where would you put Anthony Ruiz in that? Would you put Anthony Ruiz versus Wilder?
He needs to get in better shape.
Would you do that fight though? Just like give Wilder like a tune-up fight? Would you call that a tune-up fight for him?
I wouldn't be a tune-up fight because
With Ruiz?
at heavyweight, these guys can knock each other out. It's just about who lands. Because Anthony Joshua got knocked out by him. So there's so much power behind these punches that anybody can get dropped.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Definitely can. Well, what's gonna happen is we just had a break in the UFC for this past week.
Is that what that was?
But we're about to have 11 straight weeks of UFC starting June 4th, and that's gonna be Alexander Volkov versus Jazino Rosenstrike. That's the headline event for that UFC fight night. So we're just going to have events after event back-to-back for 11 weeks, as I said. And after that, we have UFC 275, and that's when Glover Teixeira gets to defend his
That's the main event.
light heavyweight title versus Yuri Prochazka. I'm probably butchering that, but
Butchered the shit out of that one.
probably. And in the co-main event, we have Valentina Shevchenko fighting Talia Santos for the flyweight.
Valentina.
He's yes, but I'm very cautious to say it just because you never know. But yes, Valentina Shevchenko. I think she's
Valentina.
You never know what.
What do you mean, bro?
Hey,
Valentina.
man, Juliana is. I'm gonna call it the Juliana effect from now on. Juliana Pena
Why?
effect, because she just
Bro.
she was the one to do it.
But Valentina's
Watch
different.
Amanda
I
take
agree.
it
I
back,
agree. I
bro.
agree. I definitely agree.
Valentina's have a different focus.
I agree. We'll have to see what's going on because the UFC also has. We have to check. We should all check that in, guys. At least, which is Ultimate Fighter. They're coaching right now just to see how the beef is going and all that stuff. We also have Weili Zhang
I already know Amanda's going to take it back, bro.
going up against Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
She beat her ass last time.
That's when she had the sick ass hematoma and everything.
Yeah, I
so
think that's gonna be a good matchup. Right?
I wonder what's gonna happen there. I hope that Joanna can bounce back and get that victory because the current strawweight champion Claudia Esparza
Damn, I still can't believe that loss, bro.
Yeah, Joanna beat her really badly whenever Joanna became the champion. So I see a
I
good
don't know
path
how
for her.
Rose lost like that. It's just,
Like, seriously, bro. It's just inactivity.
Never leave it up to the judges.
It's just inactivity. That's why she lost.
never leave it
Yeah.
up to Mauricio.
Pretty much. After that, we have
The
Calvin
UFC
Kattar
athlete.
fighting Josh Emmett.
How does it feel to be a UFC athlete after a win?
It feels really good, actually.
He's the UFC god, remember?
I'm a UFC athlete after last week. I'm a UFC athlete.
Oh, the title
It's
changed.
official.
I changed while I was gone.
Self-proclaimed.
Self-proclaimed.
Dana White signed my brother.
Hey,
You're gonna be the next CM
send
Punk.
me location. Smash.
You're gonna be the next CM Punk.
Damn, that's fucked up. Fucked up. Calvin Kattar
you
versus
said
Josh
it.
Emmett on the next UFC fight night, and that's when that same night we're gonna get some really good fights. We're gonna have Donald Cerrone and Joe Laws on the co-main, and before that we have Tim Means and Kevin Holland. That's gonna be a barn burner. That's gonna be some crazy shit.
I don't
that
know. I
night.
feel like Kevin Holland's lost a lot of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
He lost. He won.
But
his
I mean,
last
he
fight.
could gain it back. He's in a different
Yeah,
division.
but he hasn't done what he's not being electrifying anymore.
He won his last.
I
fight.
mean, he lost it.
Let's
I
give
mean, he
him-
won
let's
his
give him-
last
let's give him a
fight.
shot.
So
After let's see how he does against Tim Means.
in this new division. I mean, he could actually go through these guys.
And Tim Means isn't the type that he
Pause.
likes to brawl and whatnot. So that's why I think it favors him in a sense.
We shall see.
After that, we have Armand Trashukian versus Matsuguru. I'm probably also butchering that.
Dang, you butchered.
Saturday, June 25th.
You're bitching
Lightweight.
shit right
These
now.
guys
bro.
are up and coming guys. I think we don't have a main event. You have to look into that, but I believe that is the main event. UFC 276 though, Saturday, July 2nd. Israel Adesanya, Jared Cannonier, Volkanovski versus Max Holloway, Sean Strickland versus Alex
That's a
Pereira.
stacked one.
Very stacked.
It's a stacked one, but
Oh.
Izzy's fights as of late have not been that like whoa. It's like
I think
Why he said he's trying to finish him early.
I think against Jared Cannonier though, someone that's gonna want to be a little more aggressive. I think we're gonna see a little bit like how he finished Costa, how he finished Robert Whittaker the
Because
first time.
he said he wants to finish him early. Izzy already said
when
that.
I feel like fighters are more patient with him, he also has that methodical approach. He doesn't
Bro,
have that like.
I
I'ma
just
go out there
haven't
and go
seen
through.
something where he's like whoa, like oh shit.
Well, yeah, since the Costa fight, we would have to say. Since the Costa fight it's been like that because Romero fought him all
Boring.
like boring. Everybody's fought him with this
Too
approach.
conservative.
Exactly, and he kind of matches that. He implements his style, but he'll still like be conservative along with you because he doesn't want to get.
I
laid
feel
out
like
here.
he really got boring ever since the John Block fight.
I think
not,
it's all
not even the Costa.
styles make matchups, you know. But we have right there Lauren Morphy, Misha Tate is gonna be a good fight. Pedro Munoz, Shan O'Malley right there. Uriah Hall's coming back in that fight. Your girl Macy Barber is gonna fight in that card
July
against
2nd.
Jessica Ai. Yes, Robbie Lardler's fighting that in that card. We have a lot of stupid stat card.
When's Max Holloway fighting again?
That is gonna
That's
be
in that card,
that
is-
same card, the
same
co-main
card.
event of
That's
the
why I said
championship.
that card
He's
is
fighting
way,
who?
is very stocked.
Volkanovski.
Wow, July. That's a month away.
July 2nd,
That's
yeah.
why I said that card is way too
See,
stacked.
that should be the main event.
Well, they go by weight classes. So since middleweight's the heavyweight class, that's the main event. The good thing is that we got 2 5-round championship title fights on that card, and we've seen this where sometimes the co-main event is more entertaining.
When
But
is Connor coming back though? That's the real question.
we'll get there. Let's get to the end of this
No.
11. We got this fight that should have happened like 2 months ago. RDA and Rafael Fiziev.
Wow. RDA's done. I'm just kidding. He just needs to keep fighting.
He's been winning his last couple fights
Keep
too.
fighting.
And then we have an amazing event Saturday, July 23rd, UFC London. This thing is also a
Patty?
stacked event. Patty the Batty just got signed on to this fight.
Pause.
Patty the Batty Pimblett.
He only
Patty
wants
the
to
Batty
he only
Pimblett.
wants to fight in UK now or what?
No, so he says that as far as right now, how his contract is set up, it's kind of like Sean O'Malley. He had been fighting these no-name fighters because of his contract.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt like once I get more money, I'll fight. So he's also fighting a no-name in this one. But to me, it's like the UFC's like, this is going to be another London event. It only makes sense for you to fight again. So I'm glad that he signed on again. So he's going to be there. And it's funny because Paulo Costa's like, dude, how do you cut weight so easily? He tweeted out to him. He was like, come to Liverpool and I'll show you. So I think that would be interesting to see because Costa's had trouble cutting weight. And Patty's like, if you see him right now, he's big. You know what I mean? He's not anywhere
You can see it in his face.
anywhere
His
close to
cheeks.
155.
His cheeks look fat.
You know? Fucking Byron, he's all good. You're laughing because he said his cheeks look fat.
Do you want me to define it, Byron? What I mean by cheeks?
Yes, sir.
I mean his face cheeks, sir.
Okay.
All right, Enzo. So that's how he'll look like right there when he's not fighting, and then he'll cut down to that. So that's why he's like, how do you do that so easily? So Patty
Yeah, you
Batty,
see his face though? It's like super blown up.
super blown up. Even right here, look, you don't have that figure right there, and then right there, like, oh shit.
He goes
That's
like
sick.
from me to Enzo. That's how he does it. Facts, bro. Enzo got abs, bro. He's skinny.
Okay, so-
And that's why I'm just making the comparison, bro.
And we also have the
bro.
return of Darren Till, and I'm pretty sure he'll be cornered by Khamzat Chimaev in London versus Jack Hermanson.
That's also in the UK.
Yep, they're all those fights will be in the UK. And Tom Aspinall, the heavyweight up and coming right now, is gonna fight Curtis Blades, and if he beats Curtis Blades, man, he's gonna be in some kind of talk for something. I don't know what, but something. And then after that, we have Juliana Pena and Amanda Nunes. And Manny already made a stake. Manny already said it's going to be Amanda. So we're going to hold him to it. When Saturday, July 30th comes up, we'll revisit this. And that's when this is I don't know if you guys heard, but Davison Figueiredo is really mad right now. He's talking about leaving the division because they just lined up an interim title fight between Brandon Moreno and Kai Kara France on that day. And he's like, why are they making the decision? He's all upset, you know what I mean? But I'm like, if you're not ready to fight or something like that, and kind of how Enzo have said before, you're not marketable like that, they're gonna leap over you.
Yeah,
You know?
it's because Brandon Moreno is more marketable.
Way
I
more.
mean,
Even Kai Kara Francis, because they speak the language better, and they just have a better
but
personality
also
compared
like
to
Brandon
Davison.
Moreno is Mexican. Let's start there, and the fan base that follows him.
robbed
First
him.
Mexican
Especially-
champion.
Exactly, he was the first Mexican
robbed him,
champion.
man.
So I mean, it's easy to market him than it is to market Figueiredo.
Yeah. And I think this is and Kai Kara France, I believe, beat him before.
And the
so
other
this is a
thing too is
bring back.
Figueiredo always has a hard time cutting weight.
Uh-huh.
So like they always tell him to go up a division, you know, because he can't keep up with that weight.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll see.
That's interesting. Yeah, that's gonna be there. And that same card, we're having Derek Lewis come back. Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. That's gonna be a barn burner. I'm waiting for that one for sure. After that, man, I know we still have a couple more weeks after that. I think it goes up to August. But the UFC is stacked for the next 11 weeks. But now when it comes to Conor, today it was him and Masvidal going at it on Twitter.
I'm watching him ride his Lamborghini yacht right now. It's just crazy. He's driving it.
Yeah, and you know, Conor's living the life, training, getting that foot get better, just waiting for that opportunity. And right now, kind of how we said last week, you know, Usman is injured right now with his hand is broken.
Correct.
It's not broken anymore, but he's recovering from it being broken.
Yeah, he said he can't fight right now.
You know, so there's all these factors that go into it. We don't have a title holder technically right now at 155 either. So he can, like I said last week, he can fight for an interim title at 170. He can have a tune-up fight before that at 170.
You think he gets Charles?
He's in play for all. That's the crazy thing about with Conor. He's in play for all of these things, man.
Yeah.
He's in play to
I
fight
don't know
Charles.
I don't know if he cuts down all the way there though.
That's the only contention I have towards that is
I
him
don't
having
think
to
he
cut down that.
cuts to 155.
Especially how he's had to bulk up. I see him more
exactly. He's walking like 210 right now, man.
like supposedly Gilbert and Masvidal have like tweeted against to each other like, oh, you know what, let's do
See, I can see that because that's
Yeah.
185, isn't it? Or
170.
175.
That was 170. So
170. All right.
but you know if
See, that's more of a possibility because I know that Conor looks like he's walking like 200 pounds, bro.
yeah, and I think Conor can walk in and fight Masvidal. I don't know about if Gilbert
That
would be
weight
the
cut
best
to
one.
170 seems more possible
Yeah,
than
definitely.
155.
There's so many people he could fight at 170. You know, the Nate Diaz fight's still there for him. Nate Diaz is over here asking for a fight. He said he was trying to fight Khamzat and Khamzat couldn't, and now he's getting married and all these things. So,
And Kanza came out and said that was BS.
and he's like, "Are you smoking weed or something, brother?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, so you know, all this drama going on in the UFC. You know, Twitter's a big place to just.
Twitter's
people going at
drama,
it.
bro.
You know what I mean?
Regardless of the sport.
I feel like George and Connor's a good fight.
It is.
I feel like I don't think George is saying a lot, but I don't think it's that easy for him.
I think
I think
the
he's trying to
fight.
sell that fight.
Some of the
That's why
fights
he's
to-
talking shit like he's talking.
I mean, it would be entertaining conferences, I'll tell you
That's
that.
what I'm
Because they're
saying.
two both good shit talkers.
I think
Right.
some of the fights to make is for example,
And I don't know who I would go for that.
so there's like 4 fighters
Especially
that are
because
like,
they like to stand and bang.
that are all
Love them.
tied up together in a sense. And I feel like, for example, Nate Diaz, Masvidal, and Conor, all those guys can fight interchangeably with one another.
So why not make a triple threat match?
That'd be crazy. They team up on one of the fools. That'd be crazy. But yeah, so like that, they're all in play. Dustin Poirier is another one that wants to go to 170, and he said anybody that wants to sign that, he said he wants to find that July 30th card. So I think you had him
And
against.
he's trying to go up in weight.
Well, he cuts down a lot too, bro. He's a big ass
I know he's a
155
big
pounder.
guy.
So
I know.
I think that he's been talking about going up, and if it's not for the title or if it's not like a big fight to be able to fight with him, he's not gonna want to go down to 155. So I think it's fight with him and like Masvidal's his training partner.
I can see Dustin and Usman fighting.
I can see Dustin and Colby fighting. I can see Dustin and Nate Diaz fighting.
I can see Usman and Dustin.
I can see Dustin and
That'd be
It's
Gilbert
gonna be a
fighting.
very respectful fight though, but it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, and I so Dustin's also in that play. All
And
these
Dustin's willing to
fighters-
go to war, bro.
Mhm.
That's
Toe and bang.
So if you had to give a fight to Dustin, to Conor, to Masvidal and Nate, who would you guys say?
I'm gonna give,
nah.
I'm
This
gonna
guy
give
said a
Conor-
good
I'm gonna
one.
give- I'm gonna give-
Usman and Dustin is a good
yeah,
one.
but I'm gonna
man.
give Dustin I'm gonna give Conor the rematch to Dustin. His unfinished business.
I don't want to see
right
that
there.
shit again.
What, bro?
Nah,
That
fourth
broken
one.
foot
Okay,
was
at
not-
170 though.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm down. I don't want to see it at 155 though.
No, me neither. I want to see Conor
At 170.
have that leave a little bit more power on there.
Okay, I'm down for that. I'm down to see Masvidal. I don't know. Masvidal and Gilbert, I think, is the perfect fight to see.
No, and then I would also say Conor and Masvidal too.
And then I'd run it back also with Masvidal and Nate.
No,
We need to see that again. Yeah, I think so. Because that was some bullshit.
He was winning
Nah.
the fight though.
I just
I don't
don't-
know if Nate's still
I just
there
don't
for that.
like the fact that the fight was stopped over that cut, because that cut happens to Nate in every fucking fight. That's the only reason I don't like that. That I would want to see that again. That's the only reason why. Besides that, I agree with you. How Masvidal was winning the fight.
He was winning the fight, bro.
But yeah, that's everything we got there at the UFC. But now in the NBA,
Hold up. I got it. Since we said the first Mexican, I just gotta throw it out there. You know, we had the first Mexican Formula One driver win the Monaco race this weekend. So
is he the first one? But he's done it before.
no,
Or
he's
is just the first
he's
one
the first
ever-
Mexican to win Monaco.
Oh, okay. But there's another.
What's his name?
Sergio Perez.
Sergio Perez.
and
okay.
and but there's been
What team does he? Is he?
Red Bull.
Red Bull. Oh, cool.
but there's also been a Mexican that's won other races in F1, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but he's just Monaco's like one of the hardest,
Biggest
races.
ones, right? Yeah, races. Yeah.
One of the most historical and hardest races to win for sure.
Interesting.
It's a street circuit, bro.
Yeah.
So but man, do we have a crazy way to the finals this year, guys?
Huh.
I don't think any of us. Did you call it, Mauricio?
No, Mauricio called it from the
Yeah, he
beginning.
did.
From the beginning, how far though?
No, he said that was going to be
In
the
the first
finals.
round, I was saying that.
But in the okay, so in the first round, we didn't have nobody predict.
Oh, from the beginning of the
win?
season?
Yeah.
No.
No, from the season, I don't.
No, he predicted it from where the bracket was made
Yeah,
for the finals.
Yeah, because I saw
He
him as the
said
strongest
that
team.
from the bracket when we had the last teams, he said Warriors and Celtics are going to make it to the finals, which is what ended up happening.
It's just, damn, guys, we're in a different era of basketball.
Oh, definitely.
We are, but at the same time,
Live
it's
and die
just
by the three, how you say,
not
right?
exactly.
I mean, not that.
I'll say
that's
that-
one aspect, but my thing is
That's
like
the modern offensive game of the NBA.
what I'm tugging at is the organizational factor of how we build a team now
Mm-hmm.
and how you build through the draft because there's talent everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball has gotten so much better fundamental wise, development wise. Like that's why everybody's shooting threes because
We've even
everybody's
seen that with the Lakers, bro. They've been able to draft well, even though
They
they don't
are,
have top picks.
But exactly, yeah, because basketball, the fundamentals and development's gotten so much better.
This-
Everybody's a shooter now.
You have to
Everybody,
have a good scouting department.
Yeah.
right, and that's something that those teams, the Celtics,
There's no
have.
longer specialist. It's more like you have to have a little bit of everything.
Right, and you have, but the main thing is being able to stretch the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that being said, just the organizational factor of like having a couple down years and then being able to come back up like nothing. And keeping the same core guys.
Well, that's because they never lost their core. Their core was just injured. I mean, Curry was injured
but
for
that's,
a year.
That's my point. Like
That's right.
Klay
about the Celtics,
Thompson,
too. Celtics
Klay
happened, too.
Thompson, 2 years injury.
that's what I'm saying. But
So-
I mean,
And during those times, since they were down in the bottom, they got first draft picks.
Right, but that's the thing. They're not giving up nothing to win now. They haven't. And like the only thing that they tried to win now was that risk with KD, but it got them 2 rings. And to see that, Kyrie and KD teamed up, but both of their former teams are now in the NBA Finals.
And I also
kinda
feel like
sucks
it's
for them.
also a tale of two cities, because when we look at the Boston Celtics and we go to the year, I want to say like 2013, they had Paul Pierce, KG, Ray Allen, and they gutted they didn't gut it, but they traded that whole core of veterans.
They did gut the team because
Basically,
the only guy they drafted after that draft, they got Marcus Smart. And that's the only guy that they've kept since then.
They got, I want to say, like four years of first round draft picks from the Nets.
So
for
they had
all those veterans.
Yeah, they definitely had to suck a little bit too, but then it sucked that bad. They were still in playoffs and stuff, but it's the East. But still, I look at it.
It just set them up for that, you know.
I look at it like being a Laker fan and the fact that we just had tied them 2 years ago.
Yeah,
for the 17th.
And when we're talking about like the Warriors, they really built through the draft, and I say that because I don't think they had to like trade any players for anything like that. Like they were just a bad team, and they got everybody to get Steph Curry.
The only D'Angelo's the one they got rid of.
And that's that Steph Curry kind of what happened, Dan?
Wasn't D'Angelo with the Warriors?
He got traded away.
But that was already
traded.
That was already
for Wiggins. Yeah, he got traded for Wiggins.
That was already after the core was been established. I'm talking about the core that's the core team.
Yeah.
Curry he came from Davidson, a smaller.
That was Mark Jackson.
Yeah, but it was a smaller university, and yeah, Mark Jackson had the eye for him, and the scouting department had the eye for Steph Curry, and a lot of people didn't want to take him because of how much he shot the three, and whatnot, and a lot of teams could have taken him. Like a big thing is like he could have been in New York, he could have gone to these other teams, but I forget who New York got that year over Steph Curry. I'll look up that draft right now.
Kemba Walker?
No, because he went to the Hornets. Remember?
He just went to the Hornets. I think he was drafted.
Kemba Walker, he started with the Hornets. So Steph Curry was the number 7 pick. The number 1 pick was Blake Griffin. Then it was Hasib Thabit. Then it was James Harden, Tariq Evans, Ricky Rubio, John Flynn, and then Steph Curry. Jordan Hill went to the Knicks.
DeMar DeRozan.
DeMar DeRozan went to the Raptors. Brandon Jennings went to the
you
Bucks.
got look at the draft and look at the first round. Look at the number 1 overall pick.
Blake Griffin.
The guy, usually the number 1 overall draft pick is somebody that they're picking off of who can he help this team immediately after? And that's why Blake Griffin did come and impacted that team immediately after. The 1 through 5 is usually like that.
Yeah.
5 through 10 is 3 to 5 year process of seeing where they're gonna be. They look like they're gonna be great, but there's a lot of outliers also. But
it's crazy how like out of that top 10, DeMar DeRozan, Steph Curry, James Harden are the one. I have to say right now, as of right now, Steph Curry and DeMar DeRozan really playing at a more elite level. James Harden kind of just ever since they changed that rule of the foul calling, his game has declined heavily.
Oh, where he can't do the 4-point play anymore?
Ever since that, no, it wasn't that. It was when he was driving and he was getting what wasn't it? The 4-point play on the 3. That's one of them. But the other one.
Yeah, that's when he used to make a lot of points off of that. Though.
Right, but the other one, they changed the rule to when he's driving, he can't.
The Euro step?
Yeah, no, it's extending the ball.
Oh.
He would extend the ball and get hacked, and then they would call the foul all the time. They stopped doing that. So he
where he would just hold it.
Right. He was averaging like 36 points a game in those seasons. But like I said, that's just kudos to those organizations, and I hope the Lakers are taking notes because I like the fact that the Lakers aren't trying to give up no more draft picks to give up Russell because we had to sit on the fuck up.
Yeah.
Sit on it, man. Like, what are you gonna do? Try to prolong your shit to do this shit now? It's not gonna work. That we're not in those days anymore.
You're gonna sacrifice too much future if you do that.
Right. We're not.
Big question, guys.
What?
I saw something today that said that during the draft lottery, the Nets and the Lakers discussed a possible trade between Kyrie Irving and Russell Westbrook.
That's fake.
Just
though.
a swap?
Huh?
A swap?
Yeah, a trade between those two players.
That's fake.
What do you mean it's fake?
I mean, I doubt it happens, honestly.
I mean, I think
How would that help? How
I doubt KD wants to play with
I'm
Russell.
saying what I heard, you know what I mean? And I think
Right, but
that
that was like off
day,
of one of those fake Instagram posts. That wasn't like nothing off like ESPN or nothing like that.
no, I know, but all of these things come out from those things. And then later on, when shit happens, it's like, oh shit, this was mentioned. This was a crazy rumor that we heard 4 months back. Like things like that can happen.
It's just a rumor.
And I don't see it as the craziest thing. Just being that.
So this is
what's happening at Kyrie with Kyrie Irving. What's happening with Westbrook.
What I read was that 2 executives met for lunch, and they were both complaining about their star point guards, and that the Rob Pelinka was complaining about the drop in play in Russell Westbrook, and then the GM of the Nets was complaining about Kyrie's unavailability and how difficult he could be. And that's why from this they did
extends the rumor.
Yeah, and then now they're like, oh, they want to trade. Like that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
Bro. Sorry.
I mean, I think they could find a way to work with Russell still.
I mean, we just hired a guy that we already had on the Lakers assistant coaching staff. At
Yeah,
one point.
that he was there during the
Was
Kobe
he?
years.
I don't know if he was player development or.
I think he
or
was
something
because he
like
was
that.
helping Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard, Metal World Peace, or something like that. Yeah.
So we still have to see who's gonna hire as assistant coach. I don't think he's hired that yet.
Yeah, they haven't seen his supporting staff yet.
But honestly, guys, shit just sucks to see like the Celtics up in the finals again as a Lakers
It's all
fan.
good.
No, it's not all good. What are you talking about, bro?
I'm glad it's against a good team like the Warriors, and I'm personally rooting for the Warriors.
Exactly, bro. That's how bad it is, bro. That it's making me a temporary Warriors.
I think that
supporter.
the Warriors are gonna. The Warriors still, I feel like, have one big thing over them, which is experience.
I mean, that's what I said from the jump.
I
yeah.
think that the Warriors
let's go back to the series.
They're able to space the floor a lot better. I don't think they're as streaky as the Celtics are. The Warriors are just, they're systematically, I think they're a lot more sound.
The Celtics are just, but the Celtics are a better defensive team. And they play better away. They don't play better at home.
I would say you're right because of Al Horford down low. But besides that, they're not really driving to the rim like that.
Who isn't?
The Warriors.
The Mavs, though. What do you think
Andrew
they need,
Wiggins
though?
drives.
What do you mean about
Powell drives? What are you talking about? Yes, they do.
But they're going to kick out. You know what I mean? It's not like their game is based on them driving and making it at the basket. And they do sometimes, don't get me wrong, but
what do you mean?
But I just feel like against
like
system
amongst one of the highest
I just think systematically
in the
they break down that defense a lot more. Their offense will break down that defense.
Of course it's the Warriors, but the defense that the Celtics have is hell of impressive, bro. What were you saying, Manny?
Yeah, when it comes to Mavs.
Well, it's because I was saying we went straight to the final and we skipped over, the games the series that happened. So going back to the Warriors-Mavs series, what do you think the Mavs need in order to improve?
They fucked up by letting go of Porzingis.
Pretty much. They need a second fiddle a good second fiddle to him.
No, I mean, yeah, that's the fiddle,
good
right?
Robin, yeah, second fiddle. A Robin to
But this is
Lucas.
the issue with that was that
because there was a lot of attention on Luka.
I think, yeah, and Porzingis
double teaming him and everything.
But this is the thing, they just couldn't mesh together, and I feel like he should have stayed there because, it would have helped on rebounds, on defense, on buckets too. Because when you need a bucket, it's not just gonna be Luka trying to get a bucket, but Luka needs a little bit more help.
Now on the flip side,
Miami,
does Eric Spoelstra gotta go?
Nah, what the fuck? He got him to the fucking. He's been to the finals in the last 3 years.
He's been helping them get to the finals. I mean,
at the same time,
got Jimmy Butler's not. Jimmy Butler's a star, but he's not a superstar.
That's my point. During the finals that they went against the Lakers, they had Jimmy Butler and like Bam Adebayo, and then Tyler Hero was coming up as this like good player, good role player. And now they have Kyle Lowry, have Victor Oladipo, they have more talent, and they fell short again. And I feel like it was because.
But it's that they got hurt, bro. Tyler Hero wasn't be able to play. The other Duncan wasn't hitting well. And then Victor Oladipo came late. He didn't even have a full season with them.
He came back from injury.
And that's my question to you though, is that like,
and look how good he made him work.
But my thing is like, I don't think it's like, okay, or you're fucking up. I'm just saying. Do you just give someone else another fresh start with that? No, okay.
No, you
bro,
wouldn't.
what are you talking about?
Because
especially after Jerry Sloan,
Jerry
Jerry Sloan went to the NBA Finals how many times against the
after
Bulls,
also
and they still kept him. You know why he left? Because he didn't get along with Darren Williams. So until maybe
that's my saying. But like, we
but
also saw this season how him and Jimmy Butler were like,
yeah, but
getting
Jimmy
fucking face to
Jimmy
face type of
Butler's
shit.
known for this, and then they are also like ever since that stretch they became the best team in the NBA. Did you know that? After that outburst, they had the best record in the NBA, and then guess what? They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. The only thing is, me personally, the shot Jimmy took was ill-advised. I would have dunked on somebody, but that was a tired shot. That's all it was.
But I also just look at someone like Bam
And that's not his
Adebayo,
three.
and I'm like, dog, you should
Shoot
be
a 3 now.
Bam
That's not his
Adebayo,
game.
Bam
Nah, he's
Adebayo
driving
should also be having better games, and that's why I question something like
What do
Eric
you
Spoelstra.
mean?
He had a great
He had
game.
it was just him and Jimmy that were
But
getting
throughout the series, there was games where Hafu just
Bro,
did not show up, bro.
defensively, bro.
Like, what do you
They
mean?
stretched it
not
to
show up?
7 games.
And that's another thing I'm
feel
gonna point out right there.
Maybe
That's
he
another
needs
thing
to
I'm
be
point out right
more
there.
offensively.
We're talking about defense too, right? The Celtics were able to shut out the Mavs in less time. Where we're
The
talking
Mavs or the
about the
Heat?
Warriors were able to shut out the Mavs in 5 games. The Celtics had to go
Yeah.
7 games
Okay,
against.
did you
against
watch the games?
But against, we're talking about an injured team though, right?
Which ones?
We're talking about the Heat
Yeah,
are injured,
Miami
right?
were injured.
So
Yeah.
they had to go 7 games against a team like that, and I feel like if their defense was that good, I think they should have been also a 5-game series, not a 6-game series. They should have ended it in Boston.
The thing is that Boston doesn't play good at home. Go look it up.
And the Warriors play good away.
Yeah, but so do the Boston play good away also. So that's where the game's gonna be
But-
interesting in the Warriors.
But the Warriors
the
play
Warriors,
great at home,
yeah.
bro.
exactly, but they
So
still lost to Luka. They lost one at Luka. They
With that
tried
being
to-
said,
no,
with that
no,
being
no,
said,
no.
Warriors in 5.
Bro, they threw that game. Let's be real.
I mean, no. Actually,
Nah.
the game that they lost was at Dallas. My bad, and that was when it was
No, and they threw that game. Like they threw
Who?
their
Who?
bench.
Who?
No, the Warriors threw their bench in that game.
But they threw the bench
Against the
once it was
Mavs?
already
yes,
blown open,
after
bro.
that game that they won.
Bro,
They won.
bro,
Yes,
when
dude.
when a
They
team
like
when
through
a,
the end, they were like, "Oh, let's put our stars to like
that's what I'm
bring back
saying.
the pointage a little
they
bit."
do that towards your when you're already blown out. If they're like
Exactly.
but it wasn't that they threw the game. I feel like they got outshot that game. I feel like what Luka did too. He was shooting himself in the foot. He kept shooting threes that were like, bro, you're not hitting. Stop shooting. Get to the basket. But
Tired legs. But again, I'm saying Warriors in 5.
I'm gonna say
Warriors in
it's
6.
gonna go 6.
Warriors in 6. And this series starts off on Thursday at 6 p.m. in San Francisco. And we got 2 games there. Actually, my bad. Yeah, 2 games there. 2 in Boston. Then we come 1 back for Game 5 here in San Francisco. Game 6 in Boston, and Game 7 will be here in San Francisco again. If we get to Game 7, it will be June 19th. Sorry, I think it's like 10.
Juneteenth, huh?
10 days before the draft, around there. The draft is like June 30th, something like that. So that's what we have in the NBA, and we could say we got a new coach for the Lakers. We'll have to still see how it was. He's
Darwin, what?
Darvin Ham. He's a former player, played with the Bucks, played with the Nuggets, amongst I think other teams. But yeah, like you said, Enzo's a former
That's crazy.
coach.
You think if Kobe was still be alive, he would have got coaching?
Probably
Like,
would have
it
got
would've
tossed
been,
in.
Hey, you want to coach?
Be rumored for sure. I wouldn't doubt it.
Fuck around, have Kobe come and play too. Like I'm gonna fucking suit up this game. Fuck it.
Suit up. But yeah, man. So this week we had some football.
Oh, first of all, we heard before we get to all that, man. For the last 2 weeks, you've been butchering part of this soccer segment, so I gotta, heal it up a little bit.
We haven't even really done it. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you've done it in the last few minutes, but he's given false information. I've texted him and been like,
That's fine,
hey,
bro.
yo, like, bro, you
That's
said
why-
false
that's
information.
why we need
That's
the
why
soccer
that's
guy
why-
here,
yeah,
bro.
but he don't want to come.
You know.
Exactly, bro. He could have zoomed
He
in,
could
bro.
have zoomed in. That's exactly what I said that day.
All right, so let me go
He
through
could have
this
zoomed in last
real
weekend
quick.
too from his bedroom.
All right.
Huh?
I heard the list. I'm gonna put up the list for you right here.
All right, let's do this real quick. All right.
There it is. There's a list right there for you, bro.
You don't have to do that. I have it on my phone.
Nah, do that. do that.
Netherlands. In the Netherlands, their league, Ajax wins that league. In Portugal, we have Porto who won the league. And then you guys added Atlas. All right, bro. We're gonna talk about Mexican soccer apparently.
I mean, we're
Atlas winning.
Mexicans.
And then,
Just kidding,
and then also we're gonna add the Salvi League
Hell
according
yeah,
to
bro.
Mauricio.
We had a Clásico last night,
So
bro. It was good.
Alianza apparently won.
Hell yeah,
you
they
guys.
did, bro. I'm asking my dad for jerseys.
Now let's go back to
Salvi.
real soccer. AC Milan won the league for the Italians. Bayern did it for the Germans. Real Madrid did it for the Spanish team. Manchester City did it for the Premier League. PSG, which you already know, did it for the French league. And then we have the different stages of different European cups. So Roma from Italy won the Europa Conference League, which helps them qualify for the Europa League. And that also made Mourinho the first coach to win all those trophies. He won the Europa League, the Conference Europa League, and the Champions League. And then we had Frankfurt, who won the Europa League, and that helped them qualify for the Champions League. And then in the Champions League, we had Real Madrid versus Liverpool. And in that, we had Real Madrid winning the Champions League. And now, give me all your complaints about the Champions League.
And one more time at the end.
No. I already said them.
All right, so yeah.
I will not repeat that.
We're going to address someone's complaint because a lot of, there's a couple complaints. All right, so first, we have Camila Cabello complaining that her performance was not taken seriously, that people were chanting over it, that, and so that's one side of the coin. And we get that, with no offense to Camila Cabello, I feel like in the international stage, she's not the most well-known artist. And there's a lot of other artists I can name that probably would have had maybe a little bit better effect, but not maybe also the same effect, even being more well-known, just because there's certain ones you have to have like a fucking.
Well, you also take into consideration that there was a lot of vandalism going on.
People breaking into the stadium.
Yes, breaking into the stadium. They were saying that on the Real Madrid side, there was just normal security, while on the Liverpool side, there was actually police enforcement. Which tells you, how the atmosphere in the stadium
Liverpool is,
Liverpool is known for its wild fans. Yes.
Scousers.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing is you got to remember that the game was delayed. The game was originally supposed to start at 12.
Was it?
And
was her performance supposed to be a halftime performance? And
it was supposed to be in the beginning. It was like a pregame. But her performance was delayed. The game was delayed. So it's understandable for like fans to be like, "What the hell?"
Riled up.
I paid
They've
for
been
this.
Drinking.
Yeah, I paid for this. It's supposed to be starting at 12. And you can see the videos of like the live versus the on TV. So the on TV, you can hear her performance, but then you watch the live, and it's just a stadium roaring, and you can't even hear what she's saying.
Yeah.
So, she felt very disrespected. It's understandable as an artist. You try to like impress and show your art, and it's like no one's paying attention to you or even singing along to your songs.
Yeah.
Which is why, the speculation, if it was a bigger artist, maybe can grab their attention, but at the same time, when you look at all the little things that are happening, you're like,
you can't just be a big artist. You also have to be a transcendent artist, because like these fans right here are not just like young fans. There's a big. I get what you mean.
You're talking about the transcendence through generations.
The generations. There's a huge demographic there. You know what I mean? So I think that that those pool of artists, not that they're not still there, but it's like. It's tough to get them to come and be like, oh, come and do Champions League of all things. You know what I mean?
They would rather do a World Cup or a Super Bowl.
You know what I mean? And even then, it's like a pregame. I think the slot is also questionable. Like Enzo said, I think it's better to have it in the halftime or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was for. That's why I was like, well, first I recognized there was a game delay.
Yeah.
And then I recognized, like, why is she singing? Isn't this like a halftime performance?
I think when it comes to pregame performances, you have to be very methodical with it. It can't necessarily be.
We have to look at. I think it was a halftime.
No, it was a pregame.
No, it was a pregame because that's how they did it last year too.
Yeah.
So since the rights were changed for Champions League of broadcasting for the TV, the American broadcasters have wanted to add different things that they do. So last year they had Marshmello DJing, and then he had 2 other artists with him.
And I think that's a little better because you can add different elements that kind of engage with the fans and engage the teams and things like that. But when it's just an artist, it's like you're putting a spotlight on the artists. And I feel like unless you're doing like an anthem of a country or something like that, it's very difficult to kind of grab the people.
Yeah.
Because we have celebrities to do pre-games for NBA games, but they're usually doing the national anthem. You know what I mean? So they have more of a significance of it's more people will show more respect because it's the national anthem. You know what I mean? But if it's a performance before the game, we have certain issues, like you said, delays, fans being riled up because it's a final too. Like they're anticipating this shit. You know what I mean? So it's like give them the anthem,
and the stadium was full.
Give them if you want, like, cause what they were
post-COVID,
what they were chanting too are the
songs of their team.
So it's like you can.
So
do
like
one,
Real Madrid was singing their chants for Madrid, and Liverpool singing their chants for Liverpool.
They should have just done something for each of them with their chants. And that kind of favors everybody, hypes them up for the game. Let's get the game started.
I think she's just too sensitive.
Partially that too, but you know,
you're at a soccer game. What the hell you expect?
You know, but
the biggest sport in the world.
Like I said, there's.
Oh, she's a Latina.
Like let's say Prince was still alive or Michael Jackson. I feel like that's the only person that can perform that's transcendent enough throughout generations and stuff.
Is it Michael Jackson in his prime or Michael Jackson now? Because I don't think they would have been. He's not as electrifying as he was before.
I mean, the Rolling Stones is out there still fucking electrifying people.
Yeah, but they don't dance like that. They're just like standing there like.
But at least they still sing. Like for example, Prince, he at least was playing his instrument and performing. So I mean, I'm just saying, I feel like someone like that's transcendent as fuck. Like that'd be like, damn, yeah, people are gonna be like
Elton John or something.
Something like that. You know what I mean? Maybe, but even you know what I mean. But that's what's going on.
I know what I mean.
No, I'm saying Sports Wave number 81, guys. Thank you very much so much for joining us today. If you like what you're watching, subscribe, rate, review, wherever you're listening. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Enzo. Thank you, Manny.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Mauricio.
Thank you for listening to our episode. We appreciate your support. Remember to follow us on Instagram at The Current Pod, where you can share our episodes, review, interact with us, talk to us about what's going on. We appreciate your feedback and everything that you guys do for us and supporting us. Have a wonderful day.